Hello, and welcome to the 3 Things We Learned This Week for a holiday-shortened week ended September 10th, 2021. I'm Chad Oviatt, Director of Investment Management for Huntington's Private Bank. Now, it was a pretty quiet week for economic data releases this week, but there were a couple of things that caught our attention. One of those was the JOLTS survey from July. Now, keep in mind, it is from July, but the JOLTS survey is a measure of available jobs in the United States, and what it showed was that there was a record number of available jobs, 10.9 million in fact, available in the month of July here in the United States. Now, this comes on the back of a non-farm payrolls report that we received Friday that showed the U.S. only added 235,000 new jobs in the month of August. So the question becomes, will we see increased hiring activity in September and October, particularly given the fact that the enhanced unemployment benefits have now concluded at the national level? Of course, the big variable here is the path of the pandemic. Will the Delta variant and the resurgence of the COVID-19 virus be enough to keep job seekers away? That may keep these employment numbers a little bit lower than expectations, but nevertheless, plenty of jobs available. We'll see how that hiring activity progresses through September and October. The other thing that we saw this week is an increased level of chatter around the central banks, not just here in the US, but around the world. In fact, we heard from the European Central Bank this week that they are going to be recalibrating, not necessarily tapering, but recalibrating their bond purchases that started as an emergency relief or a stimulus program there in the Eurozone. That leads to the question, will our Fed follow suit and start to taper their bond buying this year, or will it be a 2022 development? A lot of Fed speakers out this week, a number of them gave the indication that they would be comfortable with starting the tapering activities yet this year in the fourth quarter. We'll certainly be watching that. The conversations will continue. Keep in mind the Federal Reserve is looking at 2 primary mandates, employment and inflation. We'll see how those progress in some of the data reports that we get over the next several weeks. But as of right now, increased level of chatter talking about the potential for a Fed tapering in Q4. Lastly, what we have for you this week is the fact that the $3.5 trillion proposed additional stimulus coming from Washington seems to be very murky. In fact, we're on a short time frame. The vote to be held on some of these stimulus measures is expected to take place on September 27th. However, the final bills have yet to be written. So that means that the congressional responsibilities of getting those bills done is likely to increase next week. So watch for additional conversation, maybe some level of clarity around what the potential spending might be related to these bills, and also what the potential tax implications might be from those. But as of right now, still very murky on that path to additional stimulus coming from the federal government. So those are the 3 observations we have for you this week. Hopefully you find them useful. And as always, this is Huntington looking out for you. Thank you and have a great weekend.